Hey guys, this is Sebastian, Natural Mystic Pollock, bringing you another video for rakebackdollars.com. Yeah, just fired up the video player. I ended up final tabling the 7.5 guaranteed freeze out here. This was a $55 entry, only 143 entrants here. Like I mentioned in my earlier blog posts, I was staked to play in the Poker Maximus series, so I've also been sprinkling in some other tournaments here and there. So far things haven't been going so hot, but again, too, only takes one big score and one or two big scores to set things right. So hopefully we can make that this one a nice comeback here. If I'm a little bit distracted, I do have the Poker Maximus event 51 on the other screen here, so I'm going to be looking at that as well. Currently we're 71 of 96 out of 663, so I got a little bit of work to do, but still have plenty of big blinds there. Here the table's pretty even, with exception of Catnip on tilt, who's the short stack here, obviously with the 6-2 I'm not calling here, and B Water, who is the larger stack, and even now Catnip on tilt's right back in here. It's the tournament's pretty wide open, I feel. Not too much of a dynamic yet. This guy, we don't know too much about him. We stole from him last time and he folded. Here we have 9-6, and I can't play back at him, or I can't do anything. So, and he appears to, we only have 56 hands on him, but he has 3-bet 16% of the time there. No re-steals at this point, but again, it's such a small hand sample. With 6-9, I think it's fine to be folding there. And to his min open here, we're going to be folding. Some of the things that I like to do, again, I'm not a tournament regular, so I'm not as familiar with a lot of these players. Playing over the past week, I have become a little bit more familiar with some of the regulars, but as in Great Expectations here, I've seen him here in a bunch of the tournaments, and I have him marked here with the red circle, which means he's a tournament regular, and the rest of the players, I have notes on them here as well. Basically what I do is when I go to a final table and I'm not familiar with the opponents, I'm just going to go to Shark Scope and I'm going to look everybody up and just see, is this guy a regular? Is he a recreational player? Not only am I going to look to see how much money he's won, but I'm going to look at his ROI, and I'm going to see over what tournament size sample that is. And then depending on the size, I'm then going to look at how many tournaments he's actually played and look at his graph. So, some of these guys I'm seeing, they may have won a lot of money and their win rate looks impressive, but then they ended up winning one big tournament and they haven't even cashed in another one since then. So that's important to know whether you're playing against, a regular type player. Also, I look at what the average stake that they're playing is and the stake that I'm playing in the tournament. So for instance, if I'm playing a $100 buy-in tournament and a guy has an average stake of $10, typically that might tell me that the guy's just happy to be there, maybe a little bit less sophisticated, and maybe he's just looking to move his way up the money, as opposed to, if I see another guy, average stake is $100, been there, done that, and they understand that, they're typically not looking to just move up the money, they're looking to take first place in these tournaments, and they're willing to take a little bit more risk since they, they're in this situation more frequently. That brings me to the second thing that I want to bring up again. Making final tables, it's difficult. So when we make it to the final table, we want to make the best of our opportunity. So here I'm just opening to 5,000, a little bit more than a min raise here. Again, if I get called here, I'm going to be playing the hand out of position. I don't want to bloat it, and we got kings here, so hopefully we can make something big happen with this. Hopefully somebody will raise. The B Water, last time he raised the button, I jammed on him, and I had aces, and he just straight folded here. So he's making his raise a little bit smaller here. So I'm just going to jam here and hope to get looked up light, thinking that I'm making a play again. And he raised smaller, like he's more willing to get a call. Either that or he's just got garbage and he's trying to make a really cheap steal. Normally I wouldn't raise that big, but again, because I already pushed over him before and he folded and didn't get to see what my hand was, I wanted to give him an opportunity to make a hero call with a small pair, maybe even a hand like ace-10 or something like that. So we're going to fold the 10-5 out of position here. And like I was saying before, when we make it to these final tables, it's really important that we max out and do the best we can. Obviously, do the best we can, but you really get paid for making top 3 finishes, especially winning, obviously. So when you make it to the final table, finishing 9th, 8th, or 7th really isn't ideal. So you don't want to be playing to move up the money. You really do want to be playing, playing to win. I got 2 hands going here. I apologize. I'm going to flat here and play the hand in position. This guy has been playing fairly aggressive, but I don't mind playing fit or fold here because it's not really going to make that much of a difference. And when this guy jams on us, I don't like calling here. I see some of the guys calling here, and and I see some of the good players calling here. The problem for me here is with a hand like pocket 5s, if I had 8 or 9s, I probably would end up calling because I'm going to be playing for the win. But with pocket 5s, I know at best case scenario, I'm in a coin flip. Worst case scenario, I'm dominated. With pocket 5s, there's a lot. If he decides to jam 7, 8s, or 9s there, again, I'm dominated with those hands, which he may choose to do. And if he's jamming with 2 overcards, I don't think with how deep he is there, I don't think he's ever jamming a hand like ace 4 or ace 3 or something like that. So best case scenario there, again, I'm in a coin flip. Worst case scenario, I'm dominated. So I don't like calling off there, especially pretty much for my tournament life. Which brings me to another point that I like to do when I'm playing. I'd much rather make lose a tournament by making an aggressive mistake than lose a tournament by making a passive mistake. That as I say that as I raise here, get 3-bet and call off, but tens is at this stage of the game is a little bit too good to fold here. If we get jammed on with how deep the stacks are. But again, I'd much rather be making an aggressive play, like be the one who's doing the shoving, as opposed to calling off for my tournament life, especially with marginal hands. Again, I don't mind calling off with a hand like tens or even ace queen at this point. And again, obviously depending on the player in question and oh, we just ran queens into aces and they flopped an ace and we're drawing dead on this other table. Alright, so that is unfortunate. I ended up finishing, I think I finished 90th out of 663, which is just 30 spots out of the money, not just out of the money, but okay, so we moved up 1 spot here in the money, which is good. Obviously, it's nice to not have to play a hand and let somebody else get eliminated. Though, when one other person gets eliminated, obviously another guy gets bigger, so it does put us a little bit more in the hole. But and again, against the chip leader, well, now it makes it easy. But here against the chip leader, I'm not going to be bluffing. Because again, I've already bluffed him, or not bluffed him. I've already shoved on him once, so the third time again, he's definitely going to be calling me lighter. So again, we moved up another spot for not getting involved, and again, really doesn't put us that much further behind, other than the chip leader here, which again, we don't want to fall too far behind here, but we are top. We are in the top 5. which is a good spot to be in. With almost 20 big blinds, I'm just going to flat here. This guy's been playing pretty tight, and he is opening under the gun. Obviously, I know we're wide. Ranges are wide here, but again, he's been playing, very tight over the whole tournament. If he folds, I'm going to call. Because I only think he's doing... I think he's doing it with either overcards or worse pairs, possibly. Yeah. He'd never want to do that with a big hand there because he'd want to keep me in the hand. So typically, I think when he jams there, it's small pairs and overcards. Plus, also, here's another thing too. This guy's been playing 2018. He has a 14% 3-bet over 217 hands, and he's a regular. So I know when he opens here and I just flat in position, he puts me on a weaker marginal type hand because I probably would have 3-bet or would have gone with it had had I had a really strong hand. So he knows I'm not really strong, and he knows that once if he jams on Aquafine Vodka, as a squeeze, with me behind left to act, it's, I'm still going to act, and he can only call really with a real strong part of his range, I would think, but once he folds, it makes it a pretty easy call for me. And now we're going to pick our spots a little bit. If he raises, we're just going to flat here with ace-8. I think it's good enough to flat with, and we're going to call a c-bet here. Again, I don't want to go crazy with the hand here. If he bets again too, we'll just flat. And unless he jams here, we're just going to check back. I don't think any worse hand is going to call us here. We could be chopping with an ace here, or he's just got, nothing, in which we'll take it down. So I don't think we're going to get any value from betting there, especially when he bets 2 streets and checks the river. If any, again, I think his hand, he's either at the top of his range or his bottom of his range when he checks there. He could be in the middle of his range too. He could have an ace and assume that only better aces are calling him or something like that too. So he could be checking an ace there. So again, I just don't think we get any value out of betting the river in that particular spot versus the villain. Some people may be wondering why I didn't raise the turn there. Again, it's a paired board, and I don't think I'm really getting any value from many worse hands there in that spot. Ooh. Again, I have a big chip, or not big chip lead. I'm second in chips here, and I could be, he could be jamming a dominating hand here, such as ace queen, ace king, queens or kings. So I'm going to be giving up there. Anyway, going back to the suited ace hand, again, by raising there, I only get called by better, and on a paired board, I won't allow him to bluff. And two, if I make the flush, I'll probably, I'm going to get paid, and obviously I'm going to go with the hand anyway. But when the ace hits there on the turn too, I have a lot of showdown value, and there's a good chance I have the best hand. So by just calling there, I call in position. So if I am behind, I give myself a chance to improve to the flush, and get it in good. And I think this is good enough deep. This is good enough to call here with these two cards. Now I'm going to give up. He could be c-betting this board. I have a gutter, but it's a gutter on a flush board. And this one I'm just going to let him have here in this particular spot. And also, in that other going back to that last hand one more time too as well. We are also both pretty deep, so I didn't feel the need to put my tournament life on the line there. King 7, this guy's been 3-betting me pretty wide here. I don't have an answer right now except for opening up my calling off range, and King 7 isn't. I'll be tightening up my steal range and opening up my call off range against these two particular players here because they're both. They both have about 20 big blinds left, and they're both been aggressively 3-betting. So therefore, again, I'm going to be stealing from them less. I'm going to be narrowing my steal range, but then when they 3-bet or jam over the top, I'm going to have to be willing to call wider against them. And as we can see here, this guy stole, and this guy jammed over the top, and he was stealing wide, and he snapped with ace-jack. Wow. Raised with 5-8 suited. This. Oof. Brutal. I have no idea why you'd raise 5-8 there. You know you're going to get called. I guess you're isolating and you're stealing dead money, and most people aren't going to call you, and you're going to have it heads up. So I guess I don't hate that play. So we're four-handed now. Again, second in chips. I think we're in a good spot here. We're going to 3-bet this hand for value for sure, and then we're going to come over the top if he raises. And I'm just going to call here and see what Great Expectations does. Calling's kind of weak, but I've been 3-betting quite a bit. And I'll call a bet here. Do I want to call out of position here with no draw? I'm giving up here. Again, I don't need to do anything really fancy out of position with really no draws. My hand could have been good, but again, this guy's the type who likes to barrel, so it looks like I'm going to have to be calling multiple bets in that spot here, so I'm going to fold the king 6. I think opening's fine there too. Trying to get a little bit of a feel for the table right now. See who's going to be opening it up, who's going to be scaling it back. we're going to fold to a 3-bet. We're going to give both these guys 3-bets, especially Aquafine Vodka. We're going to give his 3-bets a lot more credit. We're going to give his 3-bets and his raises the most credit here. His 3-bets we're going to give the second most credit here, I think. And we're going to 3-bet big here, basically to say, if you want to play, you're going to be playing for your tournament life, and then we'll call off if he raises. If he jams, we're just going to call off. We have to at this point. Oh. And I'm just going to spaz jam. I'm going to make it look like I'm tilting here, and I'm just going to jam all in either way. Alright, we're going to be chopping here. So we're going to be stealing a lot from the button, especially if once B-Water folds. Though Great Expectations, I expect him to 3-bet, but he's going to be protecting his small blind less. Let's just get an exact how much he's protecting his small blind. Actually, that's not really, from the hand sample they have, his small, he's actually protecting his small blind more, but again, it's a small hand sample. And we're just going to dump the 2-6 if he raises. So we really don't have to force anything here either. We still have 20, almost 25 big blinds left about. So again, we're really not in a hurry to do, we don't have to make a play. We can be patient and we can afford to play some good cards. We don't have to, at this point, we still don't have to get it in super light or anything. I think he's going to end up folding. And the reason I'm saying that is typically when guys are looking to protect a hand, especially on this guy's a tight player, and if we look back at the hand here, we'll pull it up. There was oops, that's a. We're going to. Sorry about this, guys. I got that in the way. Ah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. There was a flush draw on that board, so if that guy were looking to be protecting a if he was looking to be protecting a queen, he wouldn't have bet a third pot there. He would have bet at least half a pot. So to me, when he bet a third pot there, it was maybe like a small or medium pocket pair that, or just a hand that was firing a c-bet and hoping that he was folding. So his bet looked weak on that board texture. B-Water looks like he's starting to pick up a little bit of steam here. He's got the chip lead, and he's won a few hands here, so he's got the pedal to the metal, which I think is smart. So we can see this guy, he's played 390 tournaments. He's got 151% ROI with 52K in profits. Looking at his PTR though, he's won 2 big tournaments, but he's really only won. Those are the only thing he's had. But again, maybe this guy's particular playing style. Again, he plays to win tournaments, and that was going to be interesting if he 3-bet. I wasn't quite sure what to do in that spot. I'm going to call, assuming it's not 3-bet. I think check raising's okay in that spot, but I think he's going to be going with any overpair. Check raising's fine here, but I think a lot of the time he's checking back marginal hands. He may fire another bullet here. I'm going to make it look like I'm making a blocking bet with the ace and hope to induce a raise. It's really hard for me to get paid here in this particular spot, unless he has an ace, which I want to get a call from like a hand like ace queen or ace jack, or ace 9. So that's why I bet small there as well, because I wanted, if I bet big, you can't really call, and I think a lot of the time when the flush hits there, he may bet small for value, but without having that specific read. If I bet real small, one, I might get looked up light or get looked up by an ace, which I definitely expect to get looked up by an ace in that particular spot. And 2, maybe he'll, spaz shove on me or something like that, thinking that I have an ace, and because it really looks like I'm making a blocking bet, which is what I tried to make it look like. And I'm just going to jam all in for value here. I think making a smaller raise is fine too. But again, I want to get again, I want to get called a lot of the time by pairs 8. Come on, 8. That's unfortunate. But again, when I jam all in, I think it looks strong. It looks weaker than if I just if I make a 3x raise. Again, I could get 3-bet bluffed off the I could get them to 3-bet with worse. Though I'm not expecting this guy to do that. I'm expecting more of this guy to do that. So if we get raised here, I'm going with any 2 cards here at this point. So. Actually, hold on. Let me think about this. 3,000. Yeah, any 2 cards. Yeah. Oh, now the heat comes over the top of me here. And again, he hasn't been aggressively 3-betting, and it's possible that one of these guys could eliminate the other one. Now I am going to make the fold. Even though it's unlikely, you know, it could happen, and so I'm going to get called here every time, obviously. Oh, let me hold up. Look at that. Here we got. It looks like we're probably gonna have to win another. Oh, not flip. We're gonna have to hit hard. Not this time. All right. Well, we got a little bit unlucky there in the end. You know, getting out flopped with our jacks. But again, I was happy with the way that we made the play. I thought that again there in that spot, jamming, we might get looked up lighter by guys who are overvaluing hands or whatnot. So you know, it is what it is. Fourth, not bad. I would have liked to obviously finish first, but we'll take it. So all right, this is Sebastian Natural Mystic Pollock signing off for rakebackdollars.com.